So at the end of 2016, I went shopping for a Subaru, and I was looking at Crosstrek and the WRX or STI, something that looked kind of cool and but was fun to drive. I liked the looks of the Crosstrek, as the wagon shape was kind of appealing, and I know that you could put the back seat down. You can kind of get some taller cargo in the back if you need to. But I drove the WRX and just fell in love with that. Had good gas mileage, wasn't too harsh for daily driving, so I went ahead and got that and loved it. So you can look at some of the videos I've had before, and several videos on the WRX. Had a lot of fun with it, had some good upgrading, and by the time I traded it in, it had the best gas mileage it ever had a great tune on it, and it was solid, very solid. So, but since I was done with it, didn't really want to put too much more. The next bump in power and reliability with that power would have been too expensive. So kind of went back to the Crosstrek Desire, and I had been looking at the Wilderness Edition since it came out, and I watched hundreds of videos, made sure that what made the Wilderness unique was worth it, and that the value was there, and all the functionality of the Wilderness offering. And so I gave it a test drive, and immediately I was hooked because it was exactly how I imagined it. And the videos did a very good job of describing the drivability, and Driving Sport TV is, I watch that a lot for capabilities of off-road vehicles, and really took this thing through the ringer on every scenario. You want to have somebody else take it to the max so that you know where it is, and I think they do a very good job at that. So I had no problem once I test drove it and found all those things to be true. I sat down and did the paperwork. As far as the color goes, I'll do that real quick because I went back and forth on the white or this geyser blue. And once I saw this geyser blue, I was pretty much hooked on it. It's a unique blue, and I wanted it to match the unique trim. So I wanted just kind of the whole package. So I basically got everything I could on this, and I'll go over more of those details in the future video. One of the things that appealed to me is, I've had several Jeep Grand Cherokees, and of course we have another one. This is our third or fourth, and probably the third generation of Grand Cherokees. And it's very capable. And that is the ride height, the ground clearance. So really I have, at the rockers, I have about a foot of ground clearance. The actual ground clearance is 9.3 inches. And you can see that the suspension arms are going to be the lowest points. I also have the OEM mud guards there. They don't kind of detract from the looks, and very functional. So basically, like I said, I've got everything on this thing because I'm gonna have this thing for a very long time. The other thing is it has nice, unique matte black wheels. Tires aren't that big a deal because you can get any tire you want as long as the fitment is correct for your wheel, your clearances, and your wheel wells, and your chassis. But I think this is a great combo for all around seasonal driving. And we don't get a lot of snow, but when we do, it's very nice and convenient to have a good tire and ground clearance. So really looking forward to winter this time more than ever before. The travel you get on these springs is very, very good. It's got a taller stroke, longer stroke, so you have more articulation of the suspension. It's got a pretty long arm, and I like where that mounts off of the this cross member here. And the damping seems to be pretty good too. It's a good, actually very impressive suspension. That kind of exceeded my expectation. F. So the other thing that I decided on, that was a deciding factor rather, was the final drive ratio. It's 4.111. So it's going to give you more torque from the horsepower that is available. And that helps kind of the off the line power, gets you off the line quick. It helps with towing, but I am sacrificing fuel mileage, and my RPMs are going to be higher to go the same speeds as some other ratios, like I think it's 3.7 on the standard Crosstrek. But what that's going to also do is help me tow, and eventually what I'm going to do is get an OEM tow hitch. You can see the exhaust tucked away in here. I really kind of like that setup. This is a quiet vehicle. I'm going to keep it quiet. Nobody wants to hear a 182 horsepower boxer engine exhaust with a continuously variable transmission going off the line. There's a little peek at the body lift. Very good looking off-road setup. I wish my WRX had that angle of attack on the hood. Make it very easy to work on things. So the 182 horsepower on this model also was a deciding factor. The other engine was just way too weak, along with that 3.7 final drive ratio. It was a very lazy experience when I test drove it. I immediately jumped out of that thing and say, get me into the WRX. It has way more horsepower probably than it would need for what I need to do with it in my lifetime. And it's doing exactly what I need. I don't have any situations so far that I've needed more power. It's all in the transmission, which is what I'll talk about next. So if it's been a while since you've had a brand new car engine bay, this is what it looks like. Nice and clean. All right. I'll do more interior discussions in another video. But as far as the drive goes, I haven't used the manual shifting. I don't think I'll need to do that unless, well, maybe I'm towing a trailer, backing a trailer up or something, or it's just, that's not why I got this. But once you come in from the WRX into any manual transmission is going to be a lesser experience in basically torque and engine braking, which I want to talk about first. The engine braking on this thing is a sleeper because it has some very good engine braking capabilities. It makes the drivability even better than I expected. So that's another higher than expectation experience. It helps you from, like, if you're in moderate traffic or something, or if you have distance, no one behind you, and you can just kind of let off the gas, let the signal, the light go through its cycle, and then by the time you get up there, you could just get back on the accelerator. So that's been kind of fun on the drive home, especially when you want to kind of relax. There is the SI drive. The S is pretty good, very close to a standard transmission. but the RPMs do stay higher, so you will get even less fuel efficiency. I usually use that when I get to like roundabouts. That way I have kind of steady torque. It matches the throttle position a little better. And then speaking of throttle position, when you're in the I, which is intelligent, I don't know, that's a cute word, but not really relevant. You have to, the position of the throttle and the RPMs of the engine don't match as well. So it's kind of a weird drive you have to get used to. That took the longest to get used to. But once I figured out what mode and what throttle positions to use in certain scenarios, that the drivability, it kind of is right where I need it to be. We'll talk about this stuff in the next video. Well, that's it for this video. I just wanted to get my thoughts out there, my initial 1,000 miles. And it's basically the break-in period for the driver and the vehicle. And I am very happy. This car is doing exactly what I expected. And this is going to be a keeper. I'll do some driving videos. I'll see if this winter, I'm definitely going to do some driving videos in this. And if we go on any kind of overlanding adventures or off-road stuff, I'll get some videos so you can see in real world use what this thing is capable of. So thank you for stopping by. I appreciate it. God bless you guys, and hopefully I will see you again very soon. Have a good one. Bonus footage. Transmission cooler.